Hello guys, Trisha Day here. Once again, I want to thank you all for subscribing my YouTube channel, for watching and liking my videos, and for leaving some comments. So here's my fourth compilation of top 10 lesbian movies and series.
Season of Love is a lighthearted rom-com featuring a large ensemble cast of diverse women and their connected love lives during the hectic holiday period. Just before Christmas, through the new year, we discovered love truly is the best gift of all. Meet Iris, Mardu, Lou, Kina, Janie, and Sue as they navigate the busy holiday season of love. Iris, a jilted bride, is comforted by the groom's best woman, Mardu, as Iris realizes the perfect plan she mapped out for her life may not be what she actually needs or wants. Iris' maid of honor, Lou, juggles worrying about Iris while frantically trying to meet her New Year deadline to open her own brewery business, Bramble Brewhouse, which is held at risk when she realizes her brew tanks aren't even functional without the help of local welder, Kina, who just so happens to be her very aggravating upstairs neighbor. Meanwhile, Iris' cousin, Janie, returns home from college for Iris' wedding and is also looking to reconnect with her longtime girlfriend, Sue. But Janie jeopardizes everything when she betrays Sue's trust. The betrayal couldn't come at a worse time. Sue's struggling to make ends meet as her sick mother's medical bills threaten to overcome the family in the middle of the holidays.
When season 2 of Atypical introduced us to Easy, it quickly became clear that the connection between her and Casey was strong. They started out as enemies, as all the best relationships do, but it didn't take long for them to realize how much they craved each other. There's no denying that Casey and Evan are a great match, but Casey and Easy understand each other on a whole new level. They relate to each other's struggles and understand how hard it is to stay put together for the sake of their family. Once they established that mutual bond, there was no going back. In such a short space of time, we saw them grow pretty close pretty quickly. Their defining moment came with the forehead kiss, in which we saw Izzy expose her longing to just be close to Casey. The brilliant thing about this scene was that we also saw something awaken in Casey through her body's reaction to being so close to kissing the girl in front of her. The turning point then came in their final scene together in the series. As Casey reminds them both of how much she loves Evan, she also lets another wall drop around Izzy as she admits that sometimes the thing feels so right. This scene is so utterly tender and intimate, which represents the innocence of career love that we rarely see portrayed. It's not sexual, it's not dramatic, it's just intimacy in its purest form. Ska and Espana. The relationship between Chris and Joanna was so authentic and raw in its portrayal. It's so great watching a show with an actual good portrayal of BPD and shedding a light to this mental illness portrayed by Tamara, also known as Joanna, while Irene, also known as Chris, discovering her sexuality. I don't know if it was intentional casting or not, but I am so grateful that queer actresses were cast in queer roles. I also liked how the show didn't romanticize any of it at all. I really think it made a difference. Irene and Tamara gave a great account of themselves in their ability to portray the intensity and intimacy and uncertainty of their relationship. They had amazing chemistry and organic interaction. Matriarch Rose has made her Table Rock Lake House her home for over 50 years. When her daughter Patty and granddaughter Allison arrive at an old camera they found and show the pictures from the 50-year-old film that they had developed, Rose is transported back to the early 1960s when Louise and Zay entered her and husband Joe's life. Rose's memories of nearly 6 decades earlier begin to flood back as she learns about Allison's less than happy domestic life. She's pregnant and deciding what to do about it. Meanwhile, Allison and Patty are at loggerheads partly due to Patty's excessive drinking. The crux of the story is that Rose and Louise became secret lovers and carried on an affair over the course of 4 years. Rose's husband, Joe, is a nice enough guy. However, Rose remembers Louise as the love of her life. Loving Annabelle. After getting kicked out of 2 schools for disruptive behavior, Annabelle is sent to a Roman Catholic school by her disapproving mother. In an English class taught by Simone Bradley, Annabelle quickly shocks both teacher and fellow students with salacious interpretations of the curriculum. Simone is drawn to her unruly student, defending her from headmistress Mother Immaculata. As they grow closer, Simone realizes she has sexual feelings for Annabelle. Mina Shaw, a closeted lesbian, returns to Scotland following her father's death and discovers that the family restaurant is for sale. Mina's father secretly entered a Best of the West curry competition before his death, and Nina vows to win the contest and save the eatery. Lisa, a charismatic woman who owns half of the business, agrees to help Nina, and soon the kitchen heats up with more than exotic spices when Nina falls in love with Lisa. Rebecca has lived a step-forward wife existence in creating a perfect family with her husband, Mason Westridge. The only signs of troubles are their hostility towards each other and a differing in opinion that Jessica, their only daughter, does not get stock shares of the family business. This is something that Rebecca seeks to right. Rebecca feels an emptiness and confides in her 2 lesbian besties, Sylvie and Shireen, that she has never hit the peak during the act of sex and that she and Mason only do it once every 6 months, which suits her well. Shireen suggests that she try a very discreet escort service run by her own cousin Valentina. Her best friends set her up with high-dollar escort Paris, and what starts as a comedy of errors ends up a uniquely erotic journey. Rebecca's unconventional efforts to find herself are raw, evocative, and oftentimes humorous, but always very real, very human. Sometimes a perfect ending is not what you expect it to be. Gentleman Jack follows one of the most iconic women of the 19th century, Anne Lister, who wrote diaries detailing her lesbian relationships and dealings with members of high society. She was seen as a trailblazer in her time, marrying a woman and living openly as a lesbian. Lost and Delirious is a film about a young, naive heterosexual girl named Mary who moves into boarding school with a couple of schoolgirl lesbians who are involved in an intimate relationship. The story follows Mary's attempt to understand the relationship and adult sexuality and also follows the struggles Polly and Tori have as a lesbian couple at an all-girls private school. When Tori's little sister catches them together, Tori throws herself into a relationship with a guy and Polly desperately tries to win her back. Carol follows two women from very different backgrounds who find themselves in an unexpected love affair in 1950s New York. As conventional norms of the time challenge their undeniable attraction, an honest story emerges to reveal the resilience at the heart and the face of change. A young woman in her 20s, Therese Belivet, is a clerk working in a Manhattan department store and dreaming of a more fulfilling life when she meets Carol, an alluring woman trapped in a loveless, convenient marriage. As an immediate connection sparks between them, the innocence of their first encounter dims and their connection deepens. While Carol breaks free from the confines of marriage, her husband begins to question her competence as a mother as her involvement with Therese and close relationship with her best friend Abby come to light.
Hello guys, Thursday again. If you happen to like my work, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Thank you.